Hi guys, so I'm back with a little video, this time once again about checkmating almost right out of the opening. So do try this at home, but please do so at your own risk, because as I have previously mentioned, if you want to achieve quick checkmating attacks, you have to take risks. And I just wanted to share this video because I was so excited about this new opening that I'm playing for white. It's called the King's Gambit, and it starts after I play e4, and usually I play d4 instead, like this, and then if the opponent, obviously my opponent can play lots of openings here. He can play the Sicilian, he can play the Caro-Kann, he can play the Burke, he can play the modern defense, the not the Grünfeld though, like all kinds of stuff, the French defense, all kinds of stuff. But if he plays e5, which is the second most popular move, I have this gambit here. And this is a real gambit, meaning that if my opponent decides to take this, I cannot easily get it back. This is as opposed to the Queen's Gambit, where basically your opponent cannot keep his pawn. You will always be able to get it back. So he takes the pawn here, which is one of the main moves. I develop my knight. This is very important because you notice this diagonal is exposed, so I want to be able to control this square. Now my opponent plays an interesting idea. He puts his bishop here, and the idea is to come and give a check, and then if I capture, he will reinforce, come in with the queen. So I develop my pieces, and this is what I really like about this King's Gambit, that you really develop with speed, and that is why it's so good for quick checkmating attacks. So we see the check, and I do not play g3, even though it is possible. I just play king f1, and this may look counterintuitive, but it is actually a very common move in the King's Gambit. And the idea is that you say, okay, my king will be awkwardly placed, and it may be hard for me to involve this rook in the game, but I will be able to get the rest of my pieces attacking very quickly before my opponent gets to mobilize all his pieces, especially these that I've highlighted here. Alright, he goes back, the damage is done, so I guess I believe is probably what he thought to himself, and that is a valid way of thinking. I play d4, and let's take stock of the situation right here. I control all of these squares just with these two pawns. They are completely unchallenged. This bishop attacks this important square right here. The knight is ready to jump in and help attack that square, and this bishop is ready to come out and attack here. the knight can also easily join in the fun. Not like that, but like this. Okay, so what did I sacrifice to get all this awesome stuff? Well, I sacrificed a pawn, and I also sacrificed the right to castle. I can never castle, and my king is now in a awkward position, somewhat blocking this rook. But if you study this game, you will see that there are more than one way to get this rook into the game. Alright. My opponent tries to develop. It's quite sensible. And I protect the pawn. So he attacked and I protected it. And I am still leading hugely in development, but I am behind on material. Here my opponent plays this move. And this is simply too much. He wanted, of course, to protect this pawn. And he was like, his idea was not to allow me to get the pawn back, because he thought then that I would have gotten all of this development for free. But this is greedy. This is way too greedy, because you cannot, when you are behind in development like this, you have to prioritize getting your pieces out and getting your king to safety and mobilizing your army, because an army who stays at home is no army at all. I have couple of moves here, and I found the correct idea, but after analyzing the game, I learned that I should have done it in a different order. I played g4, which is a strong move. Probably it is winning. At least it is very good for white. But I should have played knight here. The idea is that I coordinate an attack here with these two pieces while discovering an attack on the knight. And this loses the game for black. I thought that I would still be able to do this, because after I play this, I attack the knight, and when he recaptures like this, I can now play my knight up here. Actually, he could have gone here now, and I failed to appreciate that he would still have some defensive resources at this point. I thought that this would simply lose because I could push all of these guys, and probably it is losing, but the other move order was more clear cut. So this underlines the, should we say, importance of always being very skeptical and critical of your own thinking, in the immortal words of the great Emanuel Lasker, who was the second world champion after Wilhelm Steinitz. I believe he became world champion around 1890 or something like that. It's a German guy, and he said, when you find a good move, look for a better one. Because there is like this truth that you always want to find the best move. Okay. My opponent played this because he thought that my plan was to capture here. By the way, this is not a cheating move. This is en passant. You can look it up, or it is a legal move. He takes here, and he thought that my plan was to take here, and then he would fork me like this. But But of course now I play here, and now it is even stronger. We are at move 9, and look at the difference. Look at how much firepower I have coming against him so fast. And now you see the idea why I played g4. I wanted him to take here, so now I can take back here, opening up the rook, thus solving the problem of the rook being awkwardly placed. I'm using it to my advantage now. My opponent tried castling at this point. In truth, there wasn't really anything that he could do. Let's say that he moved the knight. Here I just go like this, and notice that the queen, which is attacked, can't go away. It has no squares. So that was what he was afraid of. So he tried castling. Of course, this loses the knight. And he tried to kick my forces, push me back, and maybe he would have some check down here if this guy ever moves, and you know, maybe he can push me back and utilize or use the awkward position of my king. But I don't really care about that knight here, to be honest. So he asked me a question, what are you going to do about that knight? And then instead of answering that question, I said, no, I am the one asking the questions. And why am I the one asking the questions? Well, I'm the one asking the questions because I am the one who has all my pieces in your face. So he asked me this question, and I said, well, what are you going to do about checkmate in one move? So that is a more pressing question. He has to answer that. He blocks it like this. And what do you think I played here? He's trying to re-ask, if that's a term. I don't know if you can talk like that. This question about the knight. And should I allow him to dictate the course of our conversation? Absolutely not. I am still the one with all the pieces attacking, and I promptly sacrificed my bishop, and the reason is very clear. I just want to checkmate him, of course. So if he wants to take my knight, well, he is free to do so. He can just do that. And he did. It doesn't really matter. I took here, and he took. So now I've sacrificed 2 pieces, but there's only like 1 piece on the board in a position like this that really matters, and that is this guy. So there's checkmate in 2 moves here, and you can actually do this in some different ways. I did like the easy one, check and mate. You could also go like this, check, like this. Maybe a little bit more beautiful, actually. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I thought that this one, excuse me, this one was also quite clean. So let's recap this game. I play e4 because I want to play the king's gambit, which he allows by playing e5. I play the gambit, he takes the pawn, and I develop the knight. This is important, of course, because I want to protect this square right here. Now he reinforces, saying that he absolutely insists on giving me this check. Now I'm not too disturbed by this, because the danger is if the queen lands on this square. If the bishop lands on the square, I can move my king, and the bishop has no more real attacking potential. So I develop my bishop, and this is all with the theme of super aggression. He gives me the check, and I play king f1. We then see him going back. The damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving, and at this point his position is completely fine. I play d5, underlining, emphasizing what my strategy is. I'm saying you can have a pawn, you can have an easy target in my king, because you are not getting the time you need to utilize those assets. Because material advantage, especially a small material advantage like a pawn, is something that you build on move after move for many moves. And I'm not going to make like a game that will last many moves. This game was 15 moves. So okay. He develops sensibly. I develop also sensibly, and he commits the mistake. Here I am completely winning, and this is one of the benefits of playing hyper aggressively. When you play sharp positions, sharp openings, you give your opponents a lot of possibilities to play a wrong move, and the punishment for playing a wrong move can be quite severe in these kinds of positions. Alright. I play this in accuracy, even though it is still good for me, and my opponent fails to retreat. Instead he becomes extra greedy, and that was his last chance. And here I simply let all my attacking pieces flow, using all the attacking power. He tries a castle, loses a knight, tries to ask a question, and I say, no, good sir, I am the one asking the questions. Why am I the one asking the questions? Because I am the one with all the board control, with all the pieces attacking. I am the one who dictates which way this game is going, because I have all the power. So I just capture here, asking him the counter question. Okay, what are you going to do about checkmate? He says, I'm trying to defend it like this. I'm saying I have plenty of pieces and I only need these two to checkmate you, so I'll just throw in the kitchen sink, throw in everything. He tries, to capture the knight as to die on a full stomach, I guess. I capture this pawn. Actually, it doesn't matter with the pawn. I could basically move this bishop anywhere. All these squares would be completely fine, but why not allow him to capture my bishop, so I could brag that I have sacrificed even more pieces, and then we see the checkmate. Alright, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do try to play this style, please do so at your own risk, because of course giving up pawns and making your king vulnerable and all of this kind of stuff can backfire. And it will do that sometimes, and all of those times will be learning experiences. I love all of you guys. Thank you for all your kind words and your support. Also thanks to Ryan, Suffolk Blue and Stuart Gilbert, plus the anonymous patrons I have on Patreon, and thanks to everybody who gives me thumbs up and write kind comments supporting me and keeps me motivated for doing this. It is so awesome that you guys help me like that. So much love, and